In addition to the main ingredients, which are potatoes, carrot and coconut milk, I love adding fresh parsley for additional flavor and a vitamin boost. We start by peeling and chopping the potatoes, carrot, onion, garlic and parsley. Next up, add coconut oil to a large saucepan and fry the onion until softened, and add then the garlic, potato and carrots for about a minute. Next, add pepper, salt and rosemary for the seasoning. Use as much as preferred and stir well. After that, we add the vegetable broth. Depending on the serving size you're preparing, cover the vegetables with the liquid. Here I am using around 1 liter with about 4 spoons of vegetable broth powder. Bring the soup to boil on high heat and lower then to medium heat. Cover the saucepan with a lid and let the soup simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. Once the soup has thickened and the vegetables have softened, it's time to start blending. Remove the saucepan from the heat and blend with a blender stick. Halfway through, to a smooth texture, add a can of coconut milk. Continue blending until everything is completely blended together and there are no vegetable chunks left. The result is this creamy and comforting potato soup. As a finishing touch, you can add some more fresh parsley when serving. Enjoy! Let's prepare this delicious and comforting soup. We will start by halving the butternut squash and removing the seeds. Next up, we take our onion, ginger and garlic and chop it in small pieces. Here I have already applied coconut oil on the squash and seasoned it with salt and pepper. We're gonna put the squash in the oven now for about 45 minutes, up to 50 minutes, depending on your oven and on the size of the squash. Here we have a perfectly roasted butternut squash. It has turned a little bit brown goldish and has softened completely. If you don't have a peeler, this method makes it super easy to remove the skin of the squash. After removing it from the oven, let it cool down for about 10-15 minutes and just take a knife and start removing the skin. It should go very smoothly and easily. Now that the skin is removed, we will cut it in small pieces and prepare it to be blended in the blender. Before we start blending, we will fry in the pan first the onion, add then a little bit of garlic as well as the ginger. We'll start combining everything in the blender. First, we add from the frying pan the garlic, the onion as well as the ginger. Add the pieces of butternut squash that we just cut into the blender. Season a little bit with salt and pepper if you have the feeling that it's still needed. We will also add the maple syrup and the vegetable broth now. I personally love adding curcuma to any kind of dish. You can add as much as you like. Here I'm adding 2 tablespoons of curcuma to the squash before blending. Blend until you have a smooth and chunk-free consistency and stop for a second to add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And this will make the soup even more creamier, and just blend again for a few seconds. Once everything is blended well together, I like to heat up the soup in a saucepan again just to make sure when serving it it's nice and warm. And here we have the finished soup. It's very easy, you don't need a lot of ingredients for it, but the taste is amazing. I like to finish it off with a little bit of smoked paprika powder and just some extra pepper.